As a national advocate for people with disabilities, seniors, and their families, Vincent J. Russo from the Russo Law Group right here on Long Island specializes in estate planning, elder law, and special needs. Joining us now via Skype is Vincent J. Russo. Welcome, Vincent. Glad you're with us.
Great to be with you virtually, Monsignor.
We'll take it.
All right.
So, Vincent, I have to tell you, this is a topic today that I am totally lost in. When it comes to taxes, it can be so confusing for so many of us. So can you explain to us about this new code and this new approach that is a part of the tax law, but also capital gains are involved? There's a lot of stuff involved here that I don't understand. Sorry. It's called step up in basis, right?
Right, step up in basis. And it is complicated, Monsignor. And there's major legislation being considered right now that will have a major impact on how people are taxed. The good news, though, is that step up in basis is not on the cutting block. And so we need to understand this step up in basis because it can save literally thousands of dollars when someone sells an asset. So a step up in basis is the readjustment of the value of an appreciated asset for tax purposes when an asset is inherited. So, for example, someone inherits a residence or stocks and bonds, there's a basis, typically the cost basis of that asset. And that asset may have appreciated during one's lifetime, but when you inherit that asset, you can get a step up in basis, which raises the basis so that when you sell that asset, you can minimize or eliminate capital gains tax. So it's tied into the capital gains tax rules. So we really have to start from there in understanding how step up in basis works.
Well, feel free to take that on and let me know, too, because I'm telling you, it's already getting foggy here in the studio for me. So I'm sure you'll give us an example, too, which will be a big help.
All right. I think examples do help.
Yeah.
So we start with the capital gains tax. It's very simple. Someone owns a stock, and it's worth $10,000. But when they bought it, let's say a number of years ago, they paid $1,000. So their basis is $1,000. The selling price would be $10,000. There would be a gain of $9,000. And for tax purposes, that would be subject to the capital gains tax rules. Because that person held that asset more than a year, it's a long-term capital gain and can be taxed at a rate anywhere from 0 to 20%, depending on your taxable income. So in my example, if someone sold that stock and made $9,000 and they were in the 20% tax bracket, they would pay $1,800 in federal taxes, plus there would be state income taxes, like if you were a resident in New York. So that's how the capital gain tax is applied. And so for many people who inherit assets, they inherit assets like a residence or real property, rental property, a vacation home, or stocks and bonds. So the question then becomes, when that person inherits that asset and then later sells it, how will the capital gains tax rules apply? And this is where step up in basis comes in. And this is a great benefit because with step up in basis, that purchase price or cost basis, in my example, steps up to the date of death value of the decedent. So if that individual paid $1,000 for that stock that was now worth $10,000 and passed away with that value at $10,000, the person inheriting that stock would now have a basis of $10,000. It would step up from $1,000 to $10,000. And if they sold that stock at $10,000, instead of paying $1,800 in taxes, they'll pay 0 in taxes. So that's a simple example, but we can extrapolate that to, let's say, a sale of a residence. Let's say a parent bought a house for $250,000 that's now worth $750,000. It's appreciated $500,000. Now, when that family member inherits that home, instead of having a gain if they sold that house of $500,000, 750 less 250, they'll have a step up in basis, the 250, which was the cost of the house plus improvements, that's basis, would step up to the 750,000 amount. And then when that house is sold, if it was sold at 750,000, we'd have a sale price of 750, we'd have a basis of 750, we'd have a zero gain, a zero tax, and we would have saved the tax on $500,000. If that person was in the 20% tax bracket, there's a savings of $100,000.
Right. I actually get this. Can you believe that? I can't believe that you blew the smoke away so I can understand this, Vincent. The one thing I would encourage everybody is take out your phone now and put in your contacts Vincent J. Russo and his website, which is vjrussolaw.com, because you're going to need him someday. Trust me, my own family, we needed Vincent. He's a huge help to us, too. So, Vincent, this is an amazing thing, because this is going to be very helpful to so many families. And I guess if you don't know, you lose on some of this too, right?
That's right. Yeah. So I'll give you a quick example if I can.
Sure.
Which is if that person, instead of inheriting that residence in my example, received it as a gift. Let's say the parents said, well, I just want to avoid probate, so I'm going to just sign a deed and give you the house while I'm alive. Well, if that occurs, that would be a gift with a carryover basis, and the person who inherits loses potentially that step up in basis. Mm-hmm. So without proper planning, someone can make a mistake, make a gift of an appreciated asset that then costs the family more later on.
Wow, that's incredible. This is very, very helpful stuff. And for more information, you can visit Vincent's website, vjrussolaw.com. They are the best, I have to tell you from experience. Vincent, thanks so much for being with us and explaining this. I really got some insight from this. I really appreciate it.
Great. My pleasure.